June 11th, 1993, Steven Spielberg redefined the summer blockbuster and cinema itself with Jurassic Park. Equal parts adventure, spectacle, and thrill, this film captured the imagination of the world over and forever changed the filmmaking landscape. Adapted from Michael Crichton's 1990 novel, the young and the young at heart were equally as immersed in a story that effortlessly suspended disbelief, paired with an incredible ensemble cast, wondrous score, and set pieces that would instantly become iconic. From the majesty of the Brachiosaurus to the absolute terror of the T-Rex, Spielberg successfully brought dinosaurs back from extinction. Convincingly doing so, however, required special effects wizardry, the likes of which were unparalleled, and that would partially be achieved with the help of Stan Winston. By building practical dinosaurs and utilizing close-up shots, Spielberg ensured he had audiences' undivided attention. With the aid of ILM, he was further able to sell the illusion by using the occasional wide shot to depict the creature's full scope, ultimately paving the way for CG in every film to follow. And by including characters' reactions, Spielberg all but established the dinosaurs' believability, reassuring moviegoers they too were witnessing something entirely spellbinding. The magic of seeing dinosaurs on the big screen was not to be taken lightly. After all, their purpose in the film was to act as a frame through which everything else would be presented. At its core, Jurassic Park was always a cautionary fable for what happens when man attempts to play God. As such, some of the most memorable scenes of the film featured no dinos whatsoever. Scenes like the lunch debate, where Malcolm questioned the ethics of cloning, or the flea circus story, where Ellie realized there was never complete control of the park. Fully driving home the message of the film was the concept that characters' hubris led to their respective downfalls. Hammond, who truly believed he could throw money at any obstacle, watched everything collapse around him. Nedry, who thought he could sabotage Hammond with a foolproof heist, found himself on the wrong side of a perfect storm. And Muldoon, who mistakenly assumed he could outsmart the raptors, even after acknowledging their intelligence, met an untimely demise. All this to say, nature itself was as unbiased as it was unforgiving. Spielberg, much like Hammond, spared no expense in making Jurassic Park an unforgettable experience. From the dinosaurs, to the cars, the locations, and the atmosphere. But more important than any of that was his approach to always keeping the film balanced. For every big scene, there were smaller, more intimate ones. And for what could have been a generic sci-fi, there were plenty of character moments that kept audiences invested. And when plans inevitably went awry, Spielberg delivered just enough suspense so that people could fill in the gaps on their own. In addition to all this, he went to great lengths to ensure even the smallest of details would have payoffs. From Grant establishing raptors as pack hunters, to the two female seatbelt ends mirroring the dinosaurs' breeding. Not to mention Hammond leaving the freezer door open, buying Tim a fraction of time to escape. All of these individual components, when brought together, made for an exhilarating ride. From the film's inception, Steven Spielberg sought to innovate and advance the art form of filmmaking. The result was a film that would not only be remembered as ahead of its time, but would also stand the test of time. A delicate balance of science and technology, humor and thrill, practical effects and CG that would go down in history as Spielberg's greatest cinematic achievement. In a career of telling larger-than-life stories, nothing could ever compare to classic Jurassic Park.